Hi, friends. Today, we're going to be talking about energetic clutters and timeline blockers. Really important, really important. Energetic clutter and timeline blockers are two interrelated concepts in modern metaphysical and spiritual practices. They describe patterns of energetic congestion or interference that can inhibit your flow, progress, and manifestation abilities. So what is this? What is an energetic clutter? Energetic clutters refers to stagnant or discordant energies within your aura, your chakras, or your subtle bodies. Just as physical clutter in your home can create stagnation and inhibit movement, energetic clutter can cloud your intuition, weaken your vitality, even attract negativity, and of course, it impedes your manifestation. So before you do anything, clean your house. Okay, let's start with the easy one. Clean your house. You don't have to have a perfectly sparkling, no dust anywhere in your house. God knows I don't. Okay? But have it clean. Don't have stuff in the corners, don't have piles of stuff. If you do, move it around every once in a while. Put a timer, 10 minutes, 15 minutes every day. Empty a drawer. Because if you are going to declare your entire kitchen or your entire closet or your entire room, it can be incredibly overwhelming. And you're maybe tempted to stop midway because you're gonna create more chaos. Um, and it can become very overwhelming, right? So if you have the energy and the desire to do so, go ahead, go ahead. But if you're gonna empty your pantry, if you're gonna empty your closet, it's gonna take a few hours. So be prepared to be there for at least 3 hours, right? Depending on the size of your closet and your pantry. I know mine, it takes at least 3 or 4 hours. Okay. But if you don't want, or you don't have that kind of time, or you don't have that kind of energy, do it little by little. If you do a shelf, do a drawer every day, in time, you're going to have a clean house, a clutter-free home. Now, you need to keep it up too. That's the thing. Because negative energy, even spirits, hide in those corners where all that stuff is at. Okay? So clear it out. You've heard me say before that story when we changed the floors, we changed the entire floors in the entire house. So we had to move everything, just like if we were moving. Those big, heavy pieces of furniture that you usually don't move, like the china cabinet, if you can move them at least once a year, that is going to help you a lot. If you can, move it and clean behind it and what have you, you're going to move some energy, and that's what happened to me. But that's another story for another day. So do that first, okay? But mental clutter, um, internal clutter can also cloud your intuition. It blocks downloads and inner guidance. It does that. So if you feel like you're blocked, it may be that you're blocked internally, okay? You may have energy clutter. Also, if you feel tired all the time for no apparent reason, I mean, if you clean your closet, the next day you're gonna be beat up, right? But if you slept well and you didn't do anything extraneous but you're exhausted and your entire body hurt, or you just don't have any energy for anything, yeah, that can perfectly be energy clutter. that is sapping your force, your life force. Okay. It also attract negativity. So, low vibrating energies love chaos. And clutter, that's why clutter around your house can hide and attract low vibrating energies. Okay. So the same thing when you have energy clutter, it draws similar kind of energies and experiences. Okay. Now, if you're trying to manifest and you're doing all of the things and you're positive and you're imagining and you're feeling it and you're doing this and you're doing that, and it's just not happening or not happening very fast, that's another way to know that you may have energetic clutter. Okay. Some common sources of energetic clutter is emotional residue. Okay. If you have unprocessed emotion, anger, grief, any trauma, any guilt, shadow work. Shadow work is trauma work, okay? It's so important. I cannot tell you how important this is. Why? Because it's in your head, it's in your subconscious. Even if you're not thinking about it at all, it's in there. And it's going to impact the way you see the world, the way you feel about the world, the way that you interact with the world, the way you speak to the world. It's going to impact everything. We need to shine light on all those things, process them, because that is to heal them. Okay. And yes, it's very uncomfortable. Yes. But on the other side, is lightness, is joy. And then we feel more vital, and then we can manifest, and then we feel happy, and blah, 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 right? So that's why it's so important. Also, environmental imprints. Energies are absorbed in places. So if you work in an office that everybody's really tense, that the boss is not very nice, that you have a coworker or several coworkers that are just toxic, that spreads out. And that is an energy that is so strong that you're going to pick it up. Even if you don't become that, you're going to feel um, a weight on you. Okay. Also with a chaotic household. I mean, that's why when you're driving and you start cursing at people, that is just so bad. Don't do that. Don't do that. And also when other people are doing that, it impacts you, especially when it's directed at you. So be nice on the road. Be nice always. And if somebody cuts you off, I try to take the comic relief route, right? Somebody cut me off, I go like, oh my God, he really gotta go poop. I mean, he really gotta go. So you see, if I feel the need to say something, I say something funny because it's so much better for me. It's so much better for everybody because you are throwing that energy out into the world. You are throwing that energy out into the world, and it's gonna land somewhere. Okay. Just as much as you don't want that to land on you, you don't want yours to land on anybody else. So throw something positive and funny out into the world. Okay. Because we absorb those energies. Other people's energy. Like I just say, this happens. Also, if there's some psychic cords, attachments from relationship from past or present, even future, because remember, time is not linear. So things that we think is going to happen in the future are happening at the same time. So all those attachments, all those cords can be impacting your life, your present life as you know it, right? and then subconscious beliefs. And this is really hard because we really have to work on seeing them, okay? Um, limiting programs, scarcity, worthiness, that all has a really heavy energetic charge. So if you really think, if you say that you're worthy, but you act like you're not, think about that. Okay, think about that. Shadow work, shadow work, shadow work is really important. When you are in a situation, I'm going to tell you the story of a friend of mine who wanted to get out of her marriage, and her marriage was not bad. She was just not happy anymore. She just wasn't. And she was trying to bring in somebody else that she loved, and that person wasn't responding to her. And she knew this other person loved her, but it wasn't happening. And she worked and worked and worked and worked until she realized that she was staying in her situation because she didn't want it to be seen as the bad person. So she wouldn't break the relationship with her husband because she didn't want it to be seen as the bad person. But that also was keeping the person that she loved away. It was a great realization. As soon as she realized that, she talked about it with her husband. She's like, listen, I'm just not happy anymore. Can we just, part ways? And they did it. And they did it very harmoniously. He could understand. He was feeling the same. He also felt very guilty because they got along well. They were friends. They were not partners anymore. So they talked about it. They separated. As soon as she had that conversation with her husband, the other person showed up. Yeah, that's the way things happen. Okay. So, but those things are in your subconscious. So it takes more time and more effort for you to look at your situation and really dig deep inside of you to see where you're at, see where you're really at, know what you say that you're at. Sometimes you're really not there. Okay. You think you are, but you're really not. So energetic clutter exists in multiple layers, okay? It exists in your energetic field. It exists in your astral body, and it exists in your mental body, and of course, in your soul print and in your physical body. All right. So we need to work on all of those things. In order to release them and to be able to be happier and manifest the things that we want to manifest. Now, what are time blockers? Time blockers are a specific energetic pattern. Hold on, because I'm getting overheated here. Often karmic or ancestral, that create stop signs, okay, on your soul's path. They can be taught or thought of as fork in the road, where energies or beliefs pull you off your intended timeline, okay? When these are activated, they manifest as repeated patterns. Do you find yourself in the same relationship over and over and over and over again? Yes, that kind of thing. When you have the same challenge, and you try this and you try that, but you keep, having the same challenge, relationship dynamic that appears over and over again, that can be a sign. Missed opportunities, or what we think as missed opportunities, doors that you think are open, and as soon as you reach them, boom, they close, right? And then resistance, a persistent feeling of stuckness, of feeling stuck. despite your best effort, despite of you trying to move forward, making changes and doing this and doing that, you feel stuck all the time, okay? Now, what's the difference between a karmic blocker and a personal time blocker? Because there's a difference, right? A karmic blocker is issued by a soul contract, past agreement, um, coming from a different past life, right? Then personal blockers arise from your own thought form and creation. I'm not creative. I'm not successful. I don't deserve success. This, that, the other, right? With ancestral and linear blockages, or karmic blockages, uh, this can be passed down through family karma. Um, things that we hear in our family line all the time. Money doesn't come easy. Money doesn't come easy. If you hear that from your great grandparents and from your grandparents and from your parents and from your aunts and uncles and everybody around you, money doesn't come easy. Money doesn't come easy. Money doesn't come easy. What do you think is going to happen? Money is not going to come easy. Okay? If you continue to say family relationships are painful, love is hard, love is painful, that's something that I teach my students all the time. Stop talking. Just stop talking. Stop saying those negative things. Just stop. If you want to be abundant, like in money, stop talking about being broke. Just stop. Stop talking about being broke. Stop talking about, oh my God, I cannot pay my bills. Oh my God, stop. You have bills, I have bills, we all have bills, okay? Say, I am so grateful that I have money to pay my bills. I'm so grateful because the universe is listening to you. If you're always talking about being broke, hey, she wants more of that because she can shut up about it. Boom, more of that. But if you're like, I'm so happy I'm able to pay my bills. Oh, okay, let's send her more abundance so she can pay her bills. How about that? Don't be grateful for your bills. You don't want more of those. But be grateful that you can put food on the table, that you can keep a roof over your head, that you have a bed to lay on. If you're looking at me, you have electricity, you have internet, you have a phone, or you have a computer, you have a tablet, you have some. Be grateful every day for that, okay? Stop talking about what people did to you. Stop. Stop. Because you're telling the universe, I want some more of that. Oh no. I talk about things that hasn't happened yet. Like if I have them already, because that's what I want. And that's the way to manifest. Okay. So your words are spells. Be mindful what you talk. If you're throwing yourself a pity patty every day, every time, every hour, everybody that will listen, you're gonna get more of that. Stop. Okay. Change it. Change it. Change it. Change it. Okay. There's also collective blocks. You know, when something is happening to the collective, when there's chaos, um, that, and you're so paying attention to it, you put yourself in that chaos. When something is happening in the collective, I hear enough about it to know, and then I turn around, okay? Because whatever is happening out there, doesn't have to be a part of my reality. And that's all I'm going to say, okay? You can witness it. You don't have to be a part of it. You can witness it. You don't have to be a part of it, okay? If you feel that something that is happening out there is impacting you too much, you do something positive. You don't obsess over it. You don't talk about it because you're putting yourself in that chaos. Separate yourself. And if it bothers you so much, you do something positive with that, okay? To make collective change. All right. But whatever is happening out there, I can be a witness to it. I don't have to be a part of it. All right. All right. So there's also contractuals and soul agreements that block us, right? And some of you have heard me talk about that client that I had one time that her sister was having such a hard time, and she was a nun in a past life, and it was impacting her life. So we may have made soul contracts in other lives, sometimes in this life. When you say, I will never do da 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 again, that is a soul contract. That is a soul contract. Be mindful of your words. I cannot stress that enough. Be mindful with your words, okay? So, energetic clutter and timeline blockers are keys to unlocking deeper spiritual alignment. By systematically identifying and clearing these energies, you pave the way for a smoother manifestation, intuitive clarity, and empowered life timeline shifts. But Yari, you haven't told me what to do yet. You're right. Friday's Little Bites, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do to help yourself clear timeline blocks and cut cord, all of that, okay? It's gonna be great, so don't miss it.